But what we're going to turn our attention to now is how you can put love into action through using integrity skills. And every week, I'm going to be introducing another card for which we already have a video on our site called Foundation for Conscious Living. But I want to expand on that because I think that as we practice these skills, we're actually growing a new infrastructure. You may have noticed that everything, practically everything in our exogenous structure, the caused from without structure, has crumbled. And so people are wondering, well, how do I choose? How do I know what to do? How do I know what has integrity? Well, we've been studying this for the last several decades, and we've put together what we call operational skills. These are all skills that anybody could do. There's no sort of wishy-washy woo what in these. They're all about skills that as you practice them, you create a new skeleton for yourself that's based on wholeness, because integrity actually means wholeness. And what I wanted to share with you is that you can both grow your wholeness and you can repair your wholeness. When your wholeness feels broken, you can repair your wholeness with integrity skills. So the one that I want to show to you today, how about, Michelle, how about bringing it up? I have it right here, but we'll bring it up on the screenshot because it'll be easy for you to see, and then we'll play with it. So this, beautiful. So this card is about matching. It's in the conscious communication pillar, one of our 4 pillars. And this one I wanted to focus on today because I find it so incredibly valuable and something that a lot of people don't know about. And it's really matching, or what I like to call congruence, that if my expression is matching my experience, I unkink my energy hose and can express fully in the world in a way that allows me to not only choose action by action, but it allows me to access my intuition, my feelings, my ability to connect with others. And it can often bridge differences because I'm not speaking in an arguable way. I'm speaking from my experience. So listen to these. I'm going to say the sentence first, and I'd like you to listen to it inside and then just let your body respond to it. My language closely matches my experience. My language closely matches my experience. So let your body just respond to that and notice with, thoughts, body sensations, feelings, memories. And then there's a question, because that activates a different part of your brain. How can I communicate in a way that closely matches my actual experience? Try that on inside and just notice how your whole body responds. How can I communicate in a way that closely matches my actual experience? The how, and then your body can respond. And then if you let yourself look at the collage, the picture there, see what kinds of inner experiences the picture evokes for you. We like to use as many of our senses as possible to open up this skill of matching. So let's come on back to the group, because I want to talk a little bit more about why this is so important and how you can practice this. So one of the things to know is we have a whole section on the Foundation for Conscious Living in our Restoring Resourcefulness, which is called matching. And it gives you several different experiences of matching, some which are nonverbal and some of which allow you to practice your speaking. One of the things that I've noticed over the years, I learned a lot about this from Gay, who from the very moment that I met him has always matched. So when he's speaking, I can feel that his speaking is coming from his experience. It's bubbling up and being formed by his experience. And it's very cool because he does what I call speaking from discovery. So I know that his speaking has that freshness of not being something he's repeated 1,000 times, but something he's experiencing in the moment. And so his words carry aliveness as well as content. And what if your words not only carried your content, but carried your aliveness, your intention, your appreciation, and could open up not only your own aliveness, but connection with others. So I'd like you to just practice saying something that you've said a whole bunch of times, like, oh, well, oh, that didn't work, or here you go again. So one of the ways in which you speak to yourself, and it's usually in that critical way. So just say that to yourself and notice what happens to your aliveness when you speak to yourself in that way. Yeah, yeah, I can see it on people's faces, that kind of, oh. And now, even though you're all muted, I'd like you to practice noticing something going on inside and letting yourself just describe it. Just describe it out loud. So I'm gonna give you a demonstration. So when I tune into my sinuses, I can feel a buzzy and a little squeaky. There's a little tiny squeaky in my sinuses that when I'm speaking, it's kind of buzz, buzz, squeak, buzz, buzz, squeak. So that's my experience right now. So notice if you're just listening to that, do you feel inclined to argue with it? Like, no, you don't. So one of the great benefits of matching is that it generates curiosity not only for you, but for whomever you're speaking with. And that aliveness creates a kind of connection that underlies whatever content you're talking about. And most of our arguments are about content. But if we're actually dropping down to speaking from our right now experience, that's something that resonates with other people. So give yourself another opportunity right now to tune into something that's going on inside. And it could be anything. It could be a memory that's just come up, or a feeling, or something that you're planning to do today. And I'd like you to do your best to speak about that just simply by matching it. Just like what I'm noticing right now is, or what just arose is. So just go ahead and do that. Make it really simple. Beautiful. And then give yourself then just some attention and notice, like I noticed my breathing expanded with this last set of matching. So rather than, see, one of the things that drops out is defending. So most of our speaking is about, I'm going to say something and I'm going to try to predict how you're going to react to it. So I'm going to know whether I need to defend it and how I need to defend it when you come back at me. But when I'm really just focused on here's what's going on, I'm really bubbling up presence. I'm speaking presence. And my experience is that other people receive that and that it generates presence for them. And then what we're doing is our reservoir, our integrity, that wholeness then supports discovery rather than na 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 na. So it's a wonderful way of bridging the us versus them. So speaking from discovery through the practice of matching is a skill that I focus on every day. So I'm growing my ability to speak from what I'm experiencing. And here's a really cool thing. I'm going to take a little drink of water because I'm matching here. I getting a little phlegm. Ah, the morning phlegm. Fun with phlegm. So matching can also surprise you. So have you ever been in like you're going into a meeting and you know you're going to be talking about that thing that you've always talk about and you've not gotten through it? You know, it could be a business meeting or with a friend. So what if you just started that by just speaking from your own discovery of what's going on right now? So it's a paradigm shift, it's a contextual shift. It really lets other people know I'm here to discover with you, not to try and control you or influence you. So matching is just one of my very, very, very favorite skills. And it's something that we can keep getting better at. And also your intention to match is more powerful than your perfection of the practice. So if you're intending to match, you can also say, well, that sounded sort of strange. You know, you can just keep matching what's happening so that it removes that whole I have to do everything perfectly. You know, I have to know how you're going to respond before you respond. And it allows us to invent with each other, which is really collaborating. That's the heart of collaboration. So see if you would be willing this week to grow your ability to let your language match your experience and to open up to the how. How can I communicate in a way that closely matches my experience? And letting then your body, your inner knowing, what you're learning from who you're interacting with, support your ability to continue to match. Wonderful. So thank you so much for being here today. And I'd like you to take a moment, if you'd like to unmute yourself and do a little bit of matching with the group. And I look forward to seeing you next week. The only thing that might prevent me from being here next week is my response to my second vaccine, which I'm planning to get on Friday. So I'm a little, so if I can put words together, I'll see you next Monday. Thank you. Okay, if you'd like to unmute, please go ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Happy matching.
Bye-bye.
Good luck.
Ah.